Backyard 4.2G. This is perhaps the most dangerous homemade invention of all, a roller coaster. This huge project was carried out by a British inventor in his backyard. That's where he tested the mini roller coaster and then set it in operation for family and friends. The tracks were assembled mostly from wooden parts, the rails were made of plastic tubing, and the sleepers are made of wood. The car is very simple, and the users are protected by safety belts. The internal mechanisms are powered by a 3.5-inch air catapult that generates over 1,200 pounds of thrust. The track is quite short too, so it only takes a couple of seconds for the car to reach the end of it. However, the initial speed gives you a thrill and a rush of adrenaline to the bloodstream. Phoenix 4. On September 19, 2015, American Kurt Von Delius and his team launched the homemade Phoenix 4 rocket into the air. The launch took place at a makeshift spaceport in the Black Rock Desert in Nevada. The rocket reached supersonic speeds of about 900 miles per hour. This is nearly 3 times the average speed of a commercial aircraft. The rocket reached an altitude of 18.5 miles in 1 minute and 15 seconds. It then successfully landed 2 miles from the launch point. Thanks to a special parachute, the rocket didn't suffer any damage. The second launch was conducted on June 16, 2018, and Phoenix 4 outdid itself. It reached an altitude of 46 miles, beating the record for amateur rockets. All of this after more than 5 years of research, testing, and design. What's most amazing is that the project, including the design and internal components, were created in a garage. Porsche 996 Hoverboard. If you are a sports car lover, we recommend you to step away from the screen, because this extravagant vehicle was made from an authentic Porsche 996. The Spanish studio Bell & Bell is responsible for the creation of these models. The Porsche 996 Hoverboard no longer reaches supersonic speeds, and its characteristics make it similar to a self-balancing scooter. It's also known that the vehicle will feature a backlight and an integrated voice assistant. Interestingly, the Bell & Bell team used to design furniture. Not surprisingly, their vehicle looks more like a sofa on wheels. Plastic shredder. There are many ways to combat plastic pollution on the planet. For example, with a homemade shredder. This device can effectively shred all kinds of plastic waste, like bottles, caps, containers, cups, and plastic details of various devices. The design of the machine is very simple. The waste plastic is deposited into the container, where it moves towards the rotating shaft. Here it is shredded and then fed onto a small conveyor belt that discharges the shredded material into a bucket for further transport. For particularly hard and coarse plastics, the operator uses a special tool to push the object. The resulting mass is ideal for recycling.
She's going to use that. These are thinner plastics. As you can see, right now they're kind of bigger chunks. We don't have a screen in there.
Paratrike. The core of this homemade flying machine is a Lifan engine, similar to the popular and well-known Honda GX640 engine. The power output is 17 horsepower, according to the creator. Along with the gearbox, muffler, and propeller, it weighs no more than 105 pounds, making it easy to transport. As for its structure, it's a standard Paratrike. The parachute is used as a wing. The pilot during the flight is seated on a wheeled trolley. These vehicles are created by the Russian Alexander Maslov. It's even possible to buy one of his creations for $650. Tractor. Let's go to the United Kingdom to see another unusual vehicle. In this case, it's a homemade tractor made with improvised materials. However, not even the developer himself knows how to classify his invention, and claims that it's a hybrid between a tractor, a car, and a truck. The heart of the model is an 8-horsepower engine taken from a Kohler K181 lawnmower. The carburetor is a 28mm Amel. The transmission unit is a Peerless 1200 series borrowed from a lawn tractor. The steering wheel is taken from a greenhouse heating boiler. The seats made from a pair of planks, and the wheels were taken from a Ford Model Y, manufactured between 1932 and 1937, which perfectly completes this unusual steampunk design of the tractor. The vehicle was built about 10 years ago, but it's not the talented craftsman's only idea. He also built several motorcycle models from various parts, and with an equally unusual look. The Furphy Wheel. This invention is the living embodiment of the phrase, work smarter, not harder. Instead of spinning the meat on the grill manually, the guys from the Tasmanian studio Fork and Farm Homestead created this unusual grill. At first, it only consisted of a bicycle wheel, empty cans and a water tank. It operated like a water wheel and was powered by a solar pump. Later, however, the project grew and the structure was considerably enlarged. It took more than 100 empty cans to build it. Now, the automatic grill is powered by a windmill. Hovercraft. This hovercraft was built by Ken MacDonald. The vehicle was created with materials the inventor had at hand. Ken used insulation and wooden sheets, put the hull together with glue, and even used concrete blocks to create the right pressure. A durable plastic-coated fabric was chosen for the air pad. The finished vehicle only moves on smooth surfaces or soft grass at low speed, and makes quite a bit of noise. However, it still impresses everyone who sees it. Stunt Trike. With a minimum of tools and for relatively little money, it's possible to create a unique vehicle, in this case, a hybrid between a go-kart and a bicycle. Stunt Trike was created in Russia in about 2 weeks. The creator used a unicycle, more specifically its front fork, wheel and pedals, as well as various metal profiles and tubes. The shock absorbers were taken from a Chinese scooter, and the seat was borrowed from the bleachers of a sports stadium. All these parts, as well as the bike and a pair of car wheels, were put together with the help of an angle grinder and a welding machine. The creator admits that before undertaking the project, he had no knowledge of welding, let alone engineering. He didn't even use any plans, instead drawing inspiration from photos online. Steam engine car. Traction engines that run on firewood were trendy in the 19th century. But today, it's surprising to see these vehicles, especially when they're not created by companies, but by ordinary people. The wood in this model is transported on board. As an alternative, biomass briquettes or charcoal can be used. The machine has no practical application, but can be used for simple agricultural work if desired.
Okay.
Water car Panther. Dave March needed 14 years to develop this vehicle, capable of traveling on both land and water. Today, it's a commercial project, and the amazing vehicle is in mass production. A Jeep SUV was chosen as the base. It received a redesigned chassis made of lightweight steel. Fiberglass was chosen for the body. It can switch from land to water mode in a matter of seconds. On land, the Panther can reach up to 55 miles per hour. On water, the speed is a bit more modest for safer driving, up to 44 miles per hour. The engine uses a 3.7-litre Honda VTEC. The model is designed to carry up to 4 people. Lift. Regular viewers of our channel have seen many professional high-tech lifts for building materials. However, you can build one with your own hands. This one, for example, is designed to lift tools, shingles, and other materials weighing up to 500 pounds onto the roof. Surprisingly, it's made almost entirely of wood. Mini food processor. Lack of advanced appliances in the kitchen is not a reason for frustration. You can find enough video tutorials on the internet to make one with your own hands. For example, this mini processor was built with a bottle cap, an electric motor, and a battery. The master used a drill and a hot glue gun. You can blend food in a glass jar with the blender attached directly to the lid of the jar. It's not the most powerful food processor out there, however, it's more than enough to turn soft fruit into a puree. Vespa Extreme Modify. To see another unusual vehicle created by ordinary people, let's go to Indonesia. That's where this 7-meter-long cross between a motorcycle and a go-kart was created. Thanks to the unique shape of the hull, it can carry several people at once. One fuel tank is not enough to power the 47 wheels, so the vehicle received 2 tanks. Perhaps the only drawbacks are its poor maneuverability and the fact that the passengers and driver are too close to the ground. Can press. Empty cans take up too much space. Therefore, before transporting them to the recycling center, they need to be processed and compressed to a more compact size. A good alternative to the usual manual work in this case is a homemade can crusher like this one. It works with cans of any size, and the working cycle lasts exactly 2 seconds. Thus, productivity can reach up to 1,800 cans per hour. Perhaps the only drawback of the device is the need for manual loading. The press is powered by a standard power supply. Magazine Speed Loader. The cartridge of the US AR-15 semi-automatic rifle has a capacity of 45 rounds. Manual loading is too time-consuming, so police officers and hunters prefer to use special devices. Unfortunately, they are quite expensive, so the option you see on the screen is sure to catch your attention. It's a homemade automatic reloading device made from a piece of wood. The device has a simple construction and is assembled with a standard set of carpentry tools. Detailed video tutorials on its construction can be easily found online. Landwalker. This robot was built in 2005 and is the first humanoid robot of its size. It is 11 feet tall and weighs about 2,200 pounds. The robot comes from Japan and was designed by Sakakibara Kikai. It was created with the efforts of just a couple of people. Interestingly, despite having legs, Landwalker does not walk in the usual sense of the word. It has tracked platforms on its feet that allow the robot to move across flat surfaces at speeds of up to 1 mile per hour. Landwalker has no practical use and was created purely as an exhibit. However, it can shoot soft rubber balls. Hey, stop being lazy, it's time to use that brain of yours. Welcome to Brain Time. Incredible facts from the past, the present, and even the future. The power of nature and wild animals, amazing facts and unsolved mysteries. You'll find all this and much more here. Subscribe now, you won't regret it.